Hey, hey. Hi, guys. Welcome back. All right, so let's go ahead and jump on in. This is going to be a today's topic video. It is going to be for the 10th of September. We have Smell the Roses. Slow down, take some time, and get out in nature. Let's get a couple more. That came out earlier today. I can't think of what video it was. And we have today. Good vibes. Now, be in the moment. Okay, so the 10th could be a day to really just calm things down. Oh, and we have apology, insincere, rash actions, arrogance. Well, we have two very different energies, then, don't we? We have somebody who's just kind of relaxing, calming their energy, being present, enjoying it. Literally could be enjoying, you know, birthday cake, enjoying just sweet things in life. I'm picturing somebody who's like giving themselves a little treat, going to get whatever their favorite little treat from a bakery, and they love that bakery because there's a nice, a rose bush outside, and they sit outside and they smell the roses and they eat their little pastry, and it's just somebody is doing this for themselves. Like they've set up this little tiny space in their day or in their calendar to say, I'm going to let myself like live right now and enjoy what my life is right now, not stress about tomorrow and not freak out about other thoughts and not worry about anything for just 5 minutes, 15 minutes. But it's so wild because as a character like slows their rhythm down, slows their stress down, gives themselves this little safe space, that might be like the equivalent of letting down an energetic boundary. And that either allows, I'm picturing somebody's phone is going to suddenly blow up. They may get a very unexpected apology that comes in from someone. Somebody could also have a cat that just walks up and howls at them from time to time, just as a side note, which I mean, I know a lot of cats do that. Hi, guys. Good to see everyone. Oh, safe travels, Christy. That's awesome. Hi, Ginger. You were first in the house. Jeannie Vale, AC. Hi, guys. Wendy, Empress Unicorn, Anishta, Calm Seas. So great to see you all. I definitely think that this is going to be a shocker. If on the 10th we have possibly a Queen of Wands who's just in a very empowered, very calm space, giving herself, creating like a day or just a few hours of her life to be calm and be present in her own life. The last thing she'd see coming is that somebody wants to reconcile with her or somebody wants to give her an apology. This isn't, you notice she's like looking back over her shoulder, like doing a double take, like, what? What? What did that person just do? Or what just happened? I definitely see her, if she's just having like a nice little sitting in the moment, enjoying her life, and that's the moment an apology pops up on her phone or somebody calls her or she may literally almost like drop her phone. I'm picturing somebody who like fumbles something all of a sudden just because it is so shocking. Hopefully she's sitting down when this happens or standing in a safe place. Like, it's always tempting when we're in mid stride to look at our phone when it dings, but it's like, do not step out into traffic. Do not, because this could be a real stunner. Who is this person? Okay, so my elbow just picked up that card, so we'll add the star card into it because obviously my elbow said it must be a part of this. That star card could be somebody from a distance. It could be an Aquarius. It could be somebody who wants to heal things with her. But I didn't intend to quite ask a question like that. So let's look again and say, who are you who wants to give this apology? We've got this Four of Pentacles. So it's, and we got this person here who's like, I mean, they're in the witch's hat, and this is kind of like the bad witch from Wizard of Oz. And there's even the flying monkeys there in the back. I almost feel like this is somebody who it's really hard for them to say that they're sorry. It's really hard for them. We have a Two of Wands. We have a Ten of Wands. They almost don't know if it's worth it, but they got to get this off their chest. They don't know what to expect in response. It's really, really hard for them to say, I'm sorry. but I just want you to know. Is that Peter Cetera? It's hard for me to say I'm sorry, but I just want you to know. After all that's been said and done, you're still the part of me I can't let go. Yeah, I think so. I hear Peter Cetera's voice singing it. Anyway, this this is somebody who wants to like literally come down from the roof. I mean, they've been up there patching up the roof in the rain. This is somebody who's been like maybe patching up the holes in their soul. This has bothered them the way they behaved. Maybe they know that they made a wrong turn somewhere and it could have been a long time ago. Maybe that's why it's going to be such a shocker for her to hear from this person. Tell me more about who they are. Five of Pentacles. They got egg all over their face. So they feel like whatever they did, it's definitely an embarrassment to them. They ended up putting themselves out in the cold when that's not what they wanted. She might have told them something like, if you do X, Y, or Z, that's not going to work out well. And they stubbornly did it just to like, prove you wrong. And then turns out, no, she was spot on. They could be somebody that thought, I won't miss this. And then they really, really, really did. Thank you, sweet. You're so awesome. Thank you. Four of Swords, the Fool. I'm going to say they feel like an absolute fool. I think this person has spent a lot of time sitting there leaning up against a tree, feeling like a damn fool. Even here, we see him, and he's got his tarot over my shirt, and there's a rosy on my chest because I'm the wanderer. Yeah, the wanderer. I roam around, around, around. Sorry, that song, that 1950s song. I don't know who sings it. I think it's called The Wanderer. They sure say it a lot in the song. I wonder if they thought they could like replace her, if they thought that this relationship didn't matter, if they thought something here where they either treated this relationship like it didn't matter, and they are the ones who've been, if they thought they were going to move on, or they told themselves that it's easy to go find somebody else, or they told themselves, I can't be held down, I can't be held back, I'm a wanderer, I got to be free. The joke's on them because they've not ever like gotten over her. They, when you say you want to be free and then you get to be free, but all you wish is that you were back with somebody else, then you probably didn't win any prize for that stupid game you just played, or you won the stupidest prize there is. Look, this person has been I feel like they made selfish decisions, and then basically those selfish decisions were their own undoing. This is an epic mistake on this person's part. Why is the Two of Wands here? Is it that they're saying, I know that I went the wrong path? Or is it that I know this probably isn't a good idea for me to reach out? Literally have the Strength card, and this is like the Cowardly Lion. They do have a big heart, but they're real, real scared. They don't know if this is a good idea for them to be reaching out with this apology. Let me just ask, how is she gonna like perceive this apology? Because again, she doesn't see this coming at all. She's having a really great day. She's having a 5-star day. She's eating her pastry, smelling some roses, kicking it, feeling pretty damn good. And then the last person on earth she ever dreamed of to hear an apology from. Actually, let me change my question. Why are they the last person on earth you ever thought you would hear an apology from? And we know that they're not good at saying apologies, but Strength card upright. Remember, they have the Strength card too. So strong Leo here, but then we have Justice, Libra, and we have the World. It's a couple of things. She's like, why do I not think I would ever hear from them? Because I showed them that I had a backbone, and they don't like people with backbones. I didn't let myself get walked on. And I probably told them off, and I showed that I have some personal strength, and everything I said, I don't take back at all. She definitely has, in true Queen of Wands form, she's like, whatever I said to them, I meant every damn word of it. I meant it, I listened to my higher self, I listened to my angry self, and somewhere in the middle is where I put together the words I delivered to them, and I said it with intention. I might have told them that they treated me like dirt. I might have told them that you absolutely don't get to do that. I told them, get gone. And then I said to them, I will move on and I will be very happy without you, and I will find another lover, and my life will, the sun will rise for me again. I'm not even going to miss this. I think she said it like super blunt. And that's the real reason she's like, I never expected to hear from them again. It's, what I do love about this character is like her personal strength. Lots of times we get characters where they're like, oh, I never thought I'd hear from this person. I never thought they'd change. And the character makes it all about the other individual. She's like, I never thought I'd hear from him because I thought I scared him off. I thought I told him where to go. I told him the truth. I told them what I won't put up with. I told them they were way off balance with me if they think they can treat me this way. And I told them I'm going to be just fine without you. I actually really like her like convictions that like I deserve a hell of a lot better than this. I'm not putting up with any of this, and I won't miss your nonsense because there's other people that will love me right, and I will definitely get with one of them. She told them that they weren't anything. This behavior wasn't going to factor into her life. That's why she thought that she wouldn't hear from them again. I'm guessing she gave them the coming to Jesus moment that they needed. I don't know. How did you handle that when she said, in this story, please remember these are fictional, but in this story, she said exactly what she intended to say, and there's no takesy backsies. She said it, and she's standing by it. How did they react to that? Interestingly enough, we have Temperance. They maybe started to meditate on her words. They maybe, if sometimes when somebody goes too far and another person pushes back with the absolute truth, it's interesting how the truth hits and it's like brings somebody to a place of calm. It's like, she just said the one thing nobody's ever said to me. She said something that was fair. She said something that was true. She said something that was balanced. But we do have the King of Wands in the reverse. Hang on. Why do we have the King of Wands in the reverse? Did she point out, we have a King of Cups in the reverse as well. And we also have the Page of Swords sideways. Okay, so a couple things happened. On one hand, her speaking truth balanced things out. Remember we had the Libra scales here. And she said, absolutely, I won't tolerate any of this. I'm telling you exactly what your behavior was like, and I'm telling you I will definitely be happier without you. Their reaction to all of this was first, well, that sure balanced the scales, as far as like she said things to me that were, I'm going to say that she said things that might have been hurtful, but also true, and stood up for herself. And maybe that actually pushed the scales back into cosmic balance, her walking away from them and saying, I don't tolerate this. I will definitely have better. That balanced those cosmic scales, and that clicked something in them. They, I think, had to face, two versions of themselves in karmic energy. That's kind of tough to have to look at oneself in the mirror and go, wait a minute, she just said I'm not loving. She said I'm manipulative with my energy. She said I'm selfish. She said I don't have compassion for others. She said it's all about me. She said that's how I behaved. That's hard to hear, but if it was also absolutely true with the way they were behaving, it doesn't mean this is who they are. It means this is who they were behaving as. And if she called them on that, and it's like, that is actually irrefutable, she's spot on. I can't argue with that. That is exactly how I was behaving. That's exactly how I was treating her. That's how I've treated everybody. And then they start having to either pay more attention to those words because it echoes in their head every time they're about to do something like that. And they're like, oh, I was about to be selfish. Oh God, her words like drilled into my head and they've stayed there. It's like when you get, if you've ever been walking and you step on like, if I go hiking, I'll have like thicker tread, shoes on, and the wider the tread, sometimes you get like a rock jammed right in between, and it's like it'll get really, really, really lodged, and you've got to go find a stick and like pry it out. I feel like that's what her words did. They like got stuck in that neural groove. They got stuck in this person's like awareness, consciousness of their own behavior, and it's been like that pebble where every time you step, you can still feel that thing. It's pushing on the sole of your foot. And it's like, oh my God, I have to pay attention to this because I can't not, because she said all this to me. And over time, I'm guessing that you must have, I don't know, that you must have like sifted through. We do have the star. Her words actually did kind of make them better, did make them start to heal something, did make them start to look at healing something. Her words had an impact. Her words made them think about things from, like, keep in mind the star is like when we get distance and perspective. I actually think that they started to learn a little bit more about her as well, about why she would have called them on that. It got them thinking, plain and simple. It got them thinking. It allowed them to step outside of their own self and see their behavior the way she called it. And I think that this person, to their credit, they're fair enough and honest enough with themselves to be able to say, this is correct. She was not being mean. She was telling me a truth, and I can step back far enough and see it. There's also something that they must admire about her. Actually, let me ask that. What did you think about her? You thought she loved me. With the Two of Wands, I couldn't figure out what to do with that. She showed me like love, maybe even unconditional love, and I showed her indecisiveness, not sure about whether I wanted that or not. And that was me being selfish, like, well, I don't know. What should I do with this? I don't know if the reason for being indecisive about things was necessarily always to be selfish, but Two of Pentacles, there is a juggling factor. There is something about the way they were behaving that was like, I can keep as many balls in the air as I want. I don't have to treat somebody with respect in return. Did you like the fact that she loved you then? Is that what happened? Is that what sunk in? Queen of Pentacles in the reverse. No. What's weird, I got to read it the way it is. They tried to like point the finger at her and be like, she's so demanding. She's, controlling. She's, and at the time they were like, I'm not apologizing for anything. So they vilified her. Oh, this was bad. This was bad. No wonder she's like, I would never hear from that person. What the hell? What do you mean I've got an apology popping up on my phone on the 10th? What the heck? This is not the person I would ever expect to apologize. I can see why, because this was pretty abominable behavior, because it looks like they actually know she gave me love. I treated it like, I don't know if I want it or not. If she tried to, they might have even looked at somebody giving them love as somebody who was trying to control them. Oh, she's so needy. She's so controlling. She's got to have it her way. She wants stuff from me. The Queen of Pentacles is normally very giving. They may have seen her as somebody, in her trying to give love, oh, she's just trying to, grab a hold of me, control me. And I think that they used that and like weaponized that energy and tried to vilify her. And it was just BS is what this looks like. But they didn't feel any shame about this. They felt fine, never apologizing for anything, treating her however, because they built her into, it's the straw man, right? You build up some pretend villain, and then, that's the person that you can point out as like, well, I don't have to be nice because look at what that person did. But it was never even true. It was just a fallacy. So you want to apologize. Oh, you are apologizing. 10 of Cups. Yeah. I even think that this person wants to say that this was my 10 of Cups. You were my 10 of Cups. We could have had the 10 of Cups. 11-8. Hi, sweetheart. You're so sweet. So nice to see you, honey. I haven't talked to you in ages. Welcome, hun. We have an 8 of Swords sideways. They're saying it took me a really long time, like your words got in my head. It took me a really long time to figure out if I should even send this message. I probably shouldn't. You probably have me blocked. But if you ever read this, I wanted to tell you, for what it's worth, I do think he thinks he's blocked. I don't think he thinks his message is getting through. I do think he believes he's blocked. But he doesn't know. I think he's like, he hopes maybe he's not, but yeah, the devil. There's an energy here of see, you guys are awesome. Oh my God, you guys are adorable. You guys have been tossing lemons and little handfuls of poo-poo at this. Oh my gosh. I'm sorry I'm cracking up so much, but I love our group, you guys. This is the greatest community ever. Look, with the devil, he thinks that she probably sees him as the devil. She probably wouldn't want to talk to him anymore. She probably thinks that he went off and found some femme fatale, or that's what he was looking for, somebody to just go off and be toxic with. That's what he thinks. She thinks the absolute worst of him. And he does not expect a new beginning with her at all, with the world in the reverse. He's not apologizing because he's like, oh, I want to get back with her and I'm sure we can make this work. He's apologizing, I think, because she was right. Let me ask, why are you really apologizing? Eight of Wands, because he wishes he could talk to her again. He just wishes he could have her voice in his life again. Even though she is the one who told you where to go. Yep. Queen of Cups in the reverse. Hang on. He wishes he could talk to her about what? Nine of Pentacles in the reverse. Magician sideways. I don't think it's like, well, I want to talk to her because I hope that I can then point out what her flaws are. I don't think that. I think he's actually quite concerned about whether or not he left her damaged. If he ruined her, like ability to love and trust, if he did damage to her. And I think that's something that he feels responsible for. That's how it comes across. Let me double check, because maybe he's a total straight up villain. He's like, oh no, I want to come in and now I get a chance to tell her what's wrong with her. I just don't see that. I don't see vengeance here. I don't see this, long game, thought out thing where he wants to cause her grief. No, Three of Pentacles. I think being the fact that she told him a truth that he actually needed to hear and it helped him. I actually think, if anything, he thinks he should return that energy to her. He wants to talk to her about I think he worries that she's possibly been damaged by the whole experience with him. I do think he wants to make sure that he tells her. Let's let him talk. Hang on. What do you really want to say to her? You want to talk to her. That Magician sideways is the thing that you really want to say. Okay, no wonder I can't find the words, because he can't either. He's like, I don't know if I'll be able to find the words, honestly. Seven of Wands, it's so hard and then the Ten of Wands. It's so hard to find the words. His throat chakra is blocked. I can't find the right words here either. But it's definitely he wants to address, I took all the wrong paths with you last time. This Ten of Wands looks more like a Two of Wands, we're at a crossroads. And it's I didn't need to wreck stuff with us, but I chose to go toward the tornado route. I don't know why I did that. That's maybe the best way he could explain this to her. I don't know if he knows how to find the words to say, I hope I didn't hurt you. I hope I didn't damage you just because I chose to create chaos when we never needed to have any. Ace of Swords. It's definitely, he needs to get this truth. We saw it at the beginning when he was a little lizard fixing the roof on that first Ten of Wands, and now we've seen it again. And we got this Ace of Swords. It's I definitely feel like he has a hard time getting his thoughts to turn into words, to get the words from his brain out. But he's got to try, is what it says. You want to speak a final truth to her. Knight of Wands. Okay, that's an interesting twist. This might be the truth that he did not know if he could gag out of his mouth. He worried she was a player. Maybe he was unable to admit that. Look, this is like, we just did a little plot twist here. It may have been one of the reasons he like vilified her and stuff. It could have been that he was like very insecure that other people would want her. And she was flirting with other people. In fact, he may have dreamed that she had flirted with somebody else. And that was like this insult to him. And in truth, that's what kicked off a lot of this behavior. That's what triggered him to start being, those couple of kings in the reverse. He was so worried she would cheat on him. Look, she's very, very, very attractive, as that Queen of Wands. His emperor, he was so freaking territorial. I just think that he couldn't like handle the idea. Maybe it's even that he's like, look, I was too attracted to you. I was sure other people were also, and it triggered all my jealousies, and it made me convince myself you'd probably not want to stay with me, and I really, really, really wanted to be with you. So instead of dealing with that and treating you better and make you want to stay with me, I decided to be selfish. I decided to almost feel like it's like he got all like crazy demanding, and it made it all about him, and started to act like she wasn't doing things right. He was so nervous to lose her, and so insulted, and like, when you imagine that somebody's going to cheat on you or something because there's this jealousy that pops up, like they're my person, but they're flirting with somebody else. It's kind of like that was just like barely under the surface, and it just popped up for him really quick. And then the net result of that is he started to behave like he was insulted or wounded, even if there was no reason for it. And then that's what sabotaged all of this. If that's the deeper like realization that he's had, because she didn't say that about him. She didn't say, what, you're just jealous, blah, blah, blah. I don't think she had the perception to see that part of him, not in this story. She said, you're behaving, selfishly, you're behaving rudely, you're behaving all these ways that I won't tolerate. But I don't think she put those two together. No wonder he's more concerned, like, about I treated her poorly, and she doesn't know that the real reason I did that is because I was freaking jealous. So jealous, because I actually really wanted to be with her, but instead I made her feel like she was not worthy, and I made her feel like she was, a villain, and I made her feel like, she wasn't important to me, when she was actually so important to me that I was freaking out with jealousy and so scared that I'd lose her because she'd flirt with somebody else. That is definitely something that needs to be aired out off of his conscience. That could be another reason it's going to be like a stunner to her to hear something like that, because obviously that's not the way it seems. Like this is the extra plot twist. And if that's why, I was saying that song, the Wanderer, I'm meant to be alone, blah, blah, blah. I can find anybody else. If he made her feel like unattractive, no wonder he's got that egg on his face, because that was such a lie. Also, he's been the one suffering after she moves on from him, because he's acting like he can get anybody. He doesn't need her. But he's the one, this whole thing was because he wanted her so stinking much. That's what botched all of this. Oh my gosh, this was such a waste of what could have been really great. Is there any way to get this back on track? I mean, if he's saying an apology that is like this in depth and this like introspective. High Priestess, King of Pentacles, Three of Wands. As with anything, the future is always unwritten. Characters can do whatever they wish. We do have balancing the scales again coming in with that High Priestess. There is like an energetic understanding. There is also, remember once upon a time, he vilified her as a Queen of Pentacles in the reverse. This time, it almost seems like this is him trying to be the generous version that would have matched her once upon a time. this dialogue, this conversation, even though it's a shocker to have an apology like that come in, could definitely be something that makes her just think about maybe what could have been and maybe what still could be, if trust could be rebuilt slowly over time, and if there could be a different future. I don't know. I mean, it all depends on how heinous the treatment was. It all depends on, like, it's all up to her. It's all up to her, and of course to them. But there, I can't weigh in at all on like, should they not, because we didn't see all the intricacies. We didn't see how bad the behavior was. We didn't see, like other elements of this, just simply that it was sabotaged through really jealousy, and then that led to bad behavior. And I think that's such a relatable, the nicest people in the world can get jealous. And heck, my dog gets really jealous. Aries hates it when I pet other dogs. He does not want me petting other doggies' fur. My hands can only touch his fur. If I, even like with the kittens do not live with us. And that is a good thing, because if I say hello to the kittens, he rushes up and is like right there, like, hey, that's my mom. and I'm always like, I only love you, Aries. I only love you. But the kittens are really cute, but they're your babies. I always tell them that they're your babies. Those are your little baby cats, and I try to remind him of that so he doesn't get jealous. But if even pets get jealous, I mean, it's very understandable that humans do also. But this is one of those stories that just illuminates maybe what happens when jealousy can wreck a good thing, even wreck the thing that we want most. And so I kind of hope that this doesn't like fail to maybe be resolved. If there's a chance for these two, maybe, then hopefully it will work for them. So nice to see you guys. Oh, wait a second. I got to do a card pull for a birthday. I also have to do one for the 9th, because last night when I was live, everything just shut off. The internet went down completely. And then all day today, my internet's fine. But now YouTube is funky today. And so we've had a whole bunch of little blips. And even my phone was weird today. So 9/9 portal, right? So let's first do a little card pull for someone whose birthday is on 9/9. And then we'll do the 10th. So we have Judgment card for the 9th. I know technically we're already done with the 9th, but Scorpio, and we have the 9 of Swords, and we have the Devil. Well, this is kind of like goes along with the story we just told for the 10th, which is there's a chance to reconcile despite the fact that there's been stress, there's been passion, there's been desire, but maybe the wrong kind of passion and desire, the kind that leads to, not the greatest of behavior, and the kind that leads to unnecessary hurt feelings. But this actually says that a message for a birthday on the 9th is that there is opportunity to still heal from something, move on from something, move forward from something, even something that was quite difficult. I mean, I would always argue it all depends on what it was. And I don't think that moving on from something means you have to take somebody back into your life. I think there's really valid reasons that we say that person's never coming back into my world. But I don't tell stories about abuse. Human frailty, human mistakes, sure, but not like intentional abuse. I won't tell stories like that, because I'm like, nope, I don't go there, because I have very firm boundaries around that. Human mistakes, sabotage, jealousy, human traits like that within reason, I can totally have in our stories. And so I'm only putting that parameter around this because I feel like this was painful, this was stressful, this was upsetting, but this is also a needless drama. And it just feels like in the next year, when I do these kind of birthday messages, it's more to look at what's the biggest lesson or the biggest energy to contemplate in the next year for a character. And it kind of says, if not to find forgiveness and the ability to move on, looking at something and saying, hang on, where's the drama? Because this is a big, huge Shakespearean tragedy being played out. And entertainment's great, but we don't really want that in our life. And sometimes I think unwittingly we do amp stuff up into levels of like, it's like the rage baiting and stuff like that, where people say outlandish things just to get people to react. And I think it's easy sometimes when we have hurt feelings to make things into larger than life scenarios. And this just says some things are going to shrink, and our character is going to be able to say, it's not even about forgiving, it's about minimizing an impact and saying, was that really the biggest deal in my life? Maybe not. Was this toxic? Was this, yeah, but even that, there's ranges of that. Was I upset? Was I stressed out? Yes, but can I also move on from it? I can. This just feels like there's a real sense of like shrinking things to manageable levels of, irritation, distress, and then finding a way to actually move on from things or give forgiveness, even if it's just for oneself. I like seeing that it's diffusing stress in the next year and making certain things shrink down to the size that they really should be in the first place. Or knowing where their real boundary is and being like, this is too big. This is never coming back in my life. We're done. And we end the drama that way because we're not going to deal with that anymore. All right, let's go for somebody whose birthday is on the 10th. King of Wands, fiery, passionate love. Nine of Cups, Palace of Cups. This could be a very good year for someone. The energy could be the pursuit of opening one's heart, openly gravitating toward experiences, people, things that we actually want to enjoy, and gravitating toward people like that. If we want to enjoy our life more, sometimes we intentionally say, well, then I want to pair my energy and spend more time around people that are more positive, people that are, of course, pessimistic humor can be really funny, right? Dark humor can be hilarious sometimes, but if that's all it ever is, at some point it can be like, okay, this is actually just like constantly looking for the negative, and it's like pushing on a bruise. I don't want to do that. This is kind of like, let me actually intentionally gravitate toward people that are warmer, friendlier, able to laugh more about things that actually are, sweet, funny, kind, funny. Let me seek out better things, better forms of entertainment. Let me seek out people that seek out better, more uplifting things. And let me strive toward opening up my emotions, instead of building up, like a tough little exterior so nothing can get into me. And it just feels like if that's somebody's motive in the next year, is to meet people like that, to gravitate toward, situations that are more like that. It's not to bury one's head in the sand and be like, I'm just going to pretend everything's perfect. Everything is just laughy and bubbles all the time. But it is about saying, but to a certain extent, life is actually a beautiful thing. And why would I not seek to, open my heart more and become more creative and be more fiery and more passionate and gravitate toward people that are about building things instead of deconstructing things. So it's a shift toward more positive energy, but not synthetically like, let's just pretend everything's great. It's more like, let's find solutions. Let's gravitate and work toward doing things that make us happy because we see positive results, and it helps us to open up, and it helps us to become a more productive and happier human. But that seems like what our character is gravitating toward. This specifically could be a divine masculine who's like really stepping into that energy and saying, you know what? I don't know why I got to be the strong, silent type that never cries. I actually would much prefer to be the loving, passionate kind who scoops up little kittens and nuzzles them and tells, my partner to come cuddle me. And like, I like that. Why can't I say I like that? It makes me warmer and happier to be expressive. So it's definitely a year for more expressive energy, whether it's masculine or feminine. That's really nice. All right, you guys, really good to see you. Come see, you're so sweet. Denisa, hi, hun. Zion's Gamming, nice to see you. Hey, I think that's definitely something I'm working on too, is mastering my reactions for sure. Empress Unicorn 111, I so agree with you. You're right. It is It is a beautiful planet that we're on, isn't it? 11:8. You're so sweet, honey. So good to see you. Empress Unicorn, you were spot on. Aries does not like me smelling like other animals at all. Uh, Bruce Reed, hi. Again, well said. That's great quotes. Great quotes. Oh my gosh, Todd Rundgren. I just recently listened to one of his really famous songs, and I had kind of forgotten him for a chunk of time, and then he like resurfaced, and I was like, it's so crazy because I had not thought of him in forever. GOSC10P, good morning, my dear. AC. That's actually, I really like that one. Beyonce's Lemonade. Laverne, hi, hun. Good to see you. Spot on, Bruce. Yes. You guys are so awesome. Regina Wild. AC, your papa's birthday is today? Today's your dad's birthday too. So hang on. So wait a second. SM? Is it SM's birthday or SM's dad's birthday? I know it's AC's dad's birthday. We have to thank your papa. I'm so glad that your papa helped bring you to this world. AC, thank you. And then I'm working backwards in the chat as I scroll upward. Happy birthday, SM. There you are. Happy birthday, love. That's awesome. We have a lot of Virgo and Libras, I think, on this channel. So we get chances, I think, to eat cake for at least 60 days. And this is the best time. 11:8, yes. AC tends to do poo emojis. You guys are hilarious. The new one though is the AC chucks lemons now too, and I can't even figure out which I prefer. You guys, it's Ginger Montague. Hi, sweetie. Oh, did it freeze on your end, AC? I don't think it froze for anybody else. I didn't notice if it froze for me at all. Sweet. Thank you for that Tim O'Brien quote. Come see. So nice to see you again, hun. Rosie, hi. I'm still scrolling back. I still didn't get to see everybody's comments. Oh my God, 11:8. I am so sorry, sweetheart. I had no idea you had a brain injury and was in recovery. I'm so sorry. Oh my God. I'm so happy to hear that you're doing well, but I did not realize that you were going through all that, sweetheart. Oh my God, it's so nice to see you. It's so wonderful to have you back. I'm so grateful that you are healing. It's very strong positive vibes for sure that I'm sending your way. Although it sounds like you generate a lot of those yourself too. And that's how you probably healed. But I'm sending you so much love, honey. Rosie. We could get a playlist or something for all the songs referenced. I know. And also I think that it seems like we have a collective of people that really like music as a whole here. And so Sweet drops in songs. Everybody drops in songs here and there now. And it's so nice. I always think it's so great to, like support artists. Cause sometimes, I don't know, it used to be that you heard a lot of music on the radio. And now I mean, I have bands that I've loved and followed for a long time, and I didn't even know that they had put out a new album. And so I think it's so great to like mention bands' names just because I'm all about like supporting singers, songwriters. I just think that they're so wonderful and the world needs them. So I'm really happy to, get to mention singers and songwriters' names, but I listen to music all the time. So it's so important for my life. Cold Rock. Hi, hun. Tina. Water shift down. I hear you, sweet. Wendy E's in the house. Oh, Christy, have a really great trip to Sicily. I just absolutely adore Sicily. I hope you have such a nice time. I mean, how could you not, right? I have very fond memories of Sicily. And Ginger Montague, you were first in the house, sweetheart. Jeannie Vale, you were second in the house. AC, you were third. Christy, you were fourth. Thank you guys so, so much. Anisha Chatu, I almost missed you there, babe. Oh my gosh. Anani, hi, sweetheart. I almost missed you there also. 11-8, welcome back, honey. This is like the best night ever. I'm so happy to hear from you. You're so sweet, 11-8. Hey, Jeff. Wonderful to see you. You have a great night, great evening also. All right, you guys. Tack Ellis, nice to see you. Roxanne, hi, hun. All right, you guys. Take care, everyone. I'll see you tomorrow. Bye for now.